I'm joined by two of Fremantle's stars, imports as well. I've got Orlagh Lally and Jo Cregg joining me. Girls, thank you so much for joining our coverage of the AFLW, and it's good to chat.
It's good to chat to you too.
Thanks for having us.
I want to start off, you both moved over to Perth at around about the same time. Is that correct?
When did you get here?
2022?
Yeah, I was March 2022.
I was like August 2022.
Yeah, cool. And how have you found, Jo, the transition moving from Ireland to Perth?
It's been great. It's actually been really smooth, and I think that's probably why a lot of Irish people move to Australia and to Perth in particular. Is there's a lot of similarities between home and here, and that's probably the people and the culture that goes with it. So it's been pretty smooth. I moved over here for work, and that's been great. And then obviously found footy along the way.
Yeah, well, we'll come to your work in a second, but Orlagh, it's like little island over here sometimes, isn't it?
Yeah, honestly, like I landed and I was like, God, there's more Irish nearly than Australians on our team anyway. But yeah, no, similar to Jo, it's been pretty smooth. Obviously, I went home for a little while to play Gaelic at home, and then came back over. And then this year is my first year playing with Jo, but she's like a sister to me already. So it's nice to have that community and that taste of home as well.
Well, there's a couple of other Irish girls in the squad. Do you all sort of stick together?
Oh, yeah, we do. We try not to.
Anya gives out to us a lot whenever we stick together too much, but sometimes it's hard. We're kind of drawn to each other because, you know, you get quite homesick quite often, especially I think we found it coming into Perth Airport at the weekend when we got back, and everyone was greeted by their families, and we were kind of just the three of us there. So it is so great that we have each other and we rely on each other a lot. So we end up falling back on each other a bit too much, I think.
Yeah.
No such thing. No, it's brilliant that you do have that support. Orlagh, what took you to Perth?
Yeah, so I was playing Gaelic football at home. And we were actually just saying this earlier, it's crazy, like we went from lockdown thinking that you're never going to get out again, and then next minute I was over the other side of the world. So I was recruited at home by one of the Irish recruiters with AFLW Ireland, and they just were like, oh, are you interested? And I was like, yeah. They were like, Freo would be interested this year, or you can wait till next year and see different club options. And when I heard, I was like, oh, like that would be, like I was pretty keen. They have broadcasted the Irish girls playing over here at home in Ireland. So getting to see that and the success that they've had, I was like, yeah, it looks like something I'd like to give a go. So Perth, I suppose it's easy to be sold with beautiful beaches and weather, and the club have been amazingly good. It's like another family over here, so it was hard to say no.
A little bit warmer than Ireland.
Oh yeah, you can probably see a bit of red from me. I was out in the sun yesterday, but we'll get there eventually. I'll be adjusted to it shortly, hopefully.
That's awesome. Jo, you came over for a bit of a different reason, I understand. So you're a doctor?
Yeah. I work as a children's doctor. I'm in Perth Children's Hospital at the moment. But yeah, I moved over here with a plan to just pursue my career as a doctor more. It's a really common thing for Irish doctors to come over for a couple of years, essentially just work as a doctor here in kind of better working conditions and in the sun, and before moving back to Ireland to settle. But I had kind of come over here with a plan to work here more long term. And then when I got here, I just started playing footy for an amateur club here in Perth for Wembley, which is a fantastic team, and I love my time there, and I met some of my best friends there. Yeah. I kind of also used it as a way to make friends as well.
Absolutely, yeah.
Knowing that I was going to be here for a while, like there's a huge Irish community here in Perth, and sometimes we always stick together, like we said, but I knew I wanted to make some Australian friends, and that was kind of the main reason why I joined, just for the social aspect. And I didn't think I could fall in love with another sport, but I found myself falling in love with footy, and I kind of went from there, and I got picked up by Subi and then eventually Freo. So
you were a good Gaelic footballer in your own right, but am I right in saying that you sort of needed to stop that because of the balance with work and Gaelic was getting too difficult?
It was really hard. Gaelic football at home is an amateur sport, and it was really tricky balancing it both. I did it for a long time, but I think post-COVID, when work was just hectic, it was really, really hard, and it kind of came to a point where not only was it hard to balance, but also I was kind of just done with the sport in general. Yeah. I think I had gone as far as I could have gone, so I had retired from Gaelic football before coming over here with a plan to just pursue my career more and just have sport as a hobby. And sure, that didn't last too long.
No, you can't get your way.
Nah, it was actually funny because one of the flights home from our away games, me and Joe were sitting beside each other on the plane, and I was just like going through old photos, and we played Meath, which would be my team, played Roscommon like years ago, and there was just a photo of Joe tackling me, and I was like, what are the chances? Like,
we thought we had never met, but we obviously that year we had played each other
it was
so
probably
many
about
times.
8 years ago.
Yeah, something like that. And there's me trying to get the ball off Lally, not being too successful.
So Orlagh, you also, a good Gaelic footballer, and you're right. Tell me about your time with Meath, because it seems pretty exciting, and you've played in front of some big crowds as well.
Yeah, it was pretty special memories made with the team, and it actually started off pretty average. We were not a great team, to be honest. I would have played underage, and we would have been successful underage, but our ladies team just wasn't doing well. Like, there was no interest, and at home in Gaelic you have to play with where you live, so there's a lot of pride, and you obviously can't trade players, so you have to work with what you have. And I remember the year of COVID, we all just worked so hard. Like, we obviously were isolating and whatnot, like we weren't allowed to, we were on lockdown. And I remember going out into the field beside me, like running with sheep and everything. Like, we were just trying every way to try and keep our fitness up. And we came back, and there was just you could just feel the energy in the room when we walked in that first time, when we were allowed to after COVID, and all the girls just wanted it so bad. And all the team bought into our new management and our new set plays and everything like that, and game plan. And it took maybe 2 or 3 years to kind of hit it off, and then once we did, we won 3 in a row. So yeah, it was pretty special.
That's amazing. It must feel like that intangible, you almost can't describe the bond that you guys have, but it's almost the most important thing.
Yeah, definitely. And the fact that we were all on the same page, and just we all had that goal that we really wanted to win the All-Ireland, and the management were the exact same. So yeah, we were just so lucky with the people around us.
And so the final in Croke Park, you played in front of 32,000 people? Tell me about that. That must be insane.
Yeah, so that was pretty special. I think that was the record of attendance for females Gaelic football.
Wow.
So to even have that many people there was unbelievable, and to have like young boys and girls all come in, and after that, it just kind of, football started to grow even more at home. Younger kids were coming to all our games, and I just remember standing there, and you could just feel the noise, the energy, everything. I was like, it's hard to ever feel that again. But yeah, I suppose as well, none of it came easily. It was all hard work. So
absolutely. And look, I'll ask you both about this, but Joe, we've had such a surge and a increase in popularity of women's sport. I think probably the Women's World Cup was, sort of the best example of it. How do you feel as a young woman making a way in the sport with just how far it's come?
I think it's exciting to be at this stage of it. Exciting to play in it, to see how it's going to grow more and more, and then in years go by, like say in 10 years time, to look back and be like, we were a part of something special. I think that's what makes it so exciting. I think when you hear of young children talking about the sport, I think that's probably the best part. I was at work, I don't know, about 2 or 3 weeks ago, and I was in a clinic, and a young girl had come in, and she was reading that Sam Kerr book. And mum was telling me how she's so obsessed, had never been into sport, so obsessed with the World Cup, and now she's looking for something different. And they started telling me how they were at the Freo game the week before. I was like, how awesome. Guys, listen, me too. And she was so excited to learn more, and she just wanted to learn more about women's sport. And I think them having that person there that they can just look up to and see that there are female athletes there, and female athletes who are playing at a really high level and who are getting kind of the support that they, I suppose, deserve from all the work that we put in. I think that's incredible that as a young person to see that growing up. Well, it's pretty special. It makes it more accessible now, doesn't it? Yeah. I hear stories of there was a Socceroo that I heard who she wanted to be like Harry Kewell when she was so young, so she would
cut her hair like Carrie Kill because she didn't have those female idols, but we now do.
Yeah.
Do you have young girls coming up to you after the games at Freo?
Yeah, there's loads. There's
That's
always
awesome.
those men. It's so cool. And I think even on that, when we were younger, we didn't have anyone to look up to as well. And if you asked us when we were younger who our favourite female athlete was, we probably wouldn't have been able to name any.
Yeah.
So I think now that girls are able to actually name off probably a whole team is pretty cool. And yeah, that they have that desire for it.
We spoke earlier about you left the sport of Gaelic because you were struggling with the balance. Working at PCH now, as well as playing in the AFLW. How's the balance nowadays?
It's actually really good. The work here is there's so much more of an emphasis on a work-life balance in Australia in general. Compared to home, it was more of kind of a rat race.
Right.
So even when I was working full-time here, I had so much free time. And I think that kind of highlights the fact that I was able to pick up a new sport and go from amateur to professional in the space of a year. That just shows how great the work-life balance is, that I had the opportunity to do that. At the moment, I work in the emergency department in Perth Children's Hospital at the moment. So I work part-time because it's shift work.
Yeah.
I go back to full-time in a couple of weeks. But the hospital have been fantastic. They're so great. And they're so proud of what I've done as well.
That's awesome.
Like the doctors and patients alike are always talking to me about it. So to have that support from them is fantastic. They're telling me, you're only going to play football for so long. Go do what you need to do. We'll be here, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
And then the club here have been great as well. They understand that there are days when, I might have to work or, where I mightn't be my best self because I've just come off a long shift. So I think it's not that although it is tough doing both, it's the people around you. And I think that's kind of in everything you do in life. It's the people around you, the support you have. That's how you get to be your best self.
Yeah. The people around you, this club sounds like it's looked after you guys amazingly.
Yeah, no, that has. Even earlier I was saying I'm living with Gabby O'Sullivan and Mickey Hyde. They're both two other players on our team and they've just been phenomenal. Like Gabby has been like my mum and my sister all in one. And she even came home when I was at home in Ireland. She came home for a little while. And yeah, even the management team, like everyone around here, they just take you in under your wing, and that's really special too.
That's brilliant. What keeps you busy away from footy?
Yeah, so I'm actually quite lucky just coaching here at the club and both boys and girls. So it's really interesting as well to see that younger age group coming up and the strength in them girls. Like some of them I'm looking at and they're taller than me. I'm like, when I was that age, I wouldn't have even started training. So yeah, it's so good and even like they have multicultural programs. So it's nice because I have that background now as well. Like I understand what it's like to maybe not come from a footy background or an Australian background and go straight into it. So you kind of share that extra connection.
Do you work like you as a coach? That's what you do away from playing? Yeah, cool. How have you been enjoying that?
Yeah, really good. Even getting to go out to clinics in the schools, it's really good. It's such a different experience for me, like the schools over here and at home, like everything's so different. So it's all a learning curve. It's not just the coaching part, it's like everything. But yeah, it's great. The kids teach me as much as I'm teaching them. So
that's awesome. And when you said that some of these kids are so big and strong, so in another life I was a school teacher, and when I would teach, especially year 11s and 12s, I'm like, I have to tell you off, and you are double my height and size.
Yeah, I was getting a bit worried. We were at we had a boys' carnival yesterday in NGA. I think they were like year 7 or 8, and I was like looking at them. I was like, I really don't want to give out to you right now.
It's mental. Yeah. So just on that, you mentioned the culture shock you're learning a lot from even just living here, and I'll ask you both. But what are some of the biggest differences between life in Perth and life in Ireland? And you can't say the weather.
I think as Joe said, like that work-life balance. So at home it's very much career driven. So like you're nearly defined by your job or your career, like what you've studied. Whereas over here you have that real balance. Like you are who you are, and then your job is just a part of you, just like sport is just a part of you. And I think that's really nice. I really like that when I come over, because people see you for you, and then like your football is part of you, your work is part of you. So yeah, I think that's probably the biggest thing. Like at home, you're just they love to work at home for some reason.
So what are we talking like long work days?
And I think I don't know what it is, but yeah, at home it's very much you're defined by career. You are like you are a doctor or you are a teacher kind of a thing, and most conversations start with how it's working. And here's like what did you do yesterday evening kind of a thing, which is kind of the different shift. But yeah, I don't know what it is. But yeah, home everyone takes such pride in what they do at home and what their job is and how they're raised, and I think maybe that's maybe where it's come from.
For sure. I'll probably ask again at the end, but it sounds like neither of you have any intention of leaving Perth.
No, I like it too much.
Yeah, no, we do love it. We do love it. I mean, Perth is an incredible place, and Australia in general is incredible. I'm not sure my parents would be too happy to hear, but. Yeah. Do
you speak to them much?
Yeah, I do. I try and FaceTime them once a week and then call them in between when I can. Cool. My sister used to live in Sydney. She now lives back in Ireland again. Yep. And my brother lives in America, so everyone's kind of a little bit all over the world. So you always have to schedule in when we're doing calls to different parts and try and remember how many hours behind or ahead we are.
Yeah, so, I hope your parents have frequent flyer status.
I know. Yeah, I know they will soon.
They're great at getting up as well early morning.
Getting
up at 4 a.m. and stuff.
I think one of the Melbourne games when we were over there was at 2 a.m. and they were watching them.
Yeah, not handy. Yeah. Do your parents watch the games on stream?
Yeah. They try and let on they know what's going on, but I still question them. But even I could ring mum in the evening and I'd ring her and she'd have the Freo top on and I'm like, oh god.
It's happening.
Yeah, someone else was texting me at home and they're like, oh, I think I saw your dad the other day, and I was like, you don't know my dad. And they're like, well, he's the only man in Ireland wearing a Fremantle Dockers jumper. I was like, okay.
How well known is the AFL and the AFLW in Ireland?
I think it's always been somewhat known. We used to have the international rules. I don't know if you remember that. That was hectic.
Until we wrecked it. I think we got too aggressive.
Before Irish lads couldn't cope with it.
Yeah.
So there's always been that understanding of it. And I think sometimes it's always kind of maybe the final may have been streamed at home or something like that. But since the AFLW kicked off, since the Irish girls started coming over here, we have an Irish channel called TG Cahir, and they've always shown.
Say that again.
It's called TG Cahir. Sorry. Cahir is the
Televish. What is it?
The Cahir means 4, so it's channel 4 essentially, but it's in Irish.
I
kind of forgot that was Irish, but they show some of the games. So they show delayed coverage of 2 of the games every weekend. So because of that, we've always just kind of seen it on the telly a little bit in the last kind of 5 years or so, just the women's sport or women's game, sorry. So that's been really cool because a lot of the Irish girls we know, because we've all played football at a high level at home, we all kind of know each other or played against each other. So you kind of, you always want the Irish girls to kind of do their best as much as they can.
That's brilliant. I do have a little segment to finish off with, but before I get there, I wanted to ask you about your coach, Lisa Webb, who, believe it or not, babysat me.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh gosh, you poor thing.
Maybe I shouldn't have. I should have told you that after. But she seems to have brought in a breath of fresh air to the club, Orla.
Yeah, she really has. She's been like another mom to me since I've moved over.
Everyone's just parenting Orla.
Yeah, she's parenting me.
Sounds like you've got multiple mothers.
Yeah, literally. She's so good. She, again, looks at you as a person and not just a player. She brings in every aspect of your life, especially, I suppose, me moving over. She's been really thoughtful as an international coming over. Just life in general. But yeah, she's working really hard and I've no doubt that her work is going to pay off.
Yeah, that's awesome. Jo, look, just on that, we heard Orla say that she looks at the person, not the player. And I've been a footy fan my whole life. I grew up with the game, and I sort of see coaching has changed a little bit. I look at Collingwood's team, particularly Craig McRae, seems to value the person, as does Chris Fagan, who they played. And now we hear about Lisa Webb, and it's not the first people we've heard it about. Do you sort of see that, with all doing a coaching and stuff like that, and obviously you looking after kids in the hospital, relationships seem to be at the forefront of coaches' minds? Yeah,
I think it is the most important thing. And I even think back to when I did my interview and Webby was there at the time, and it felt like she was more trying to get me to know me more as a person than a player. And I think what she kind of brings to the team is that she brings that culture of family that we always talk about. And the reason we talk about it is because it's so like drained into us kind of a thing. But yeah, I think she brings that importance of relationships and how much we rely on each other, because at the end of the day we are a team and we have to go out there every weekend and we rely on each other so much. We have to be able to trust each other, to know that we always have each other's backs. And I think what it kind of epitomizes that is our game last weekend, because that came down to just solid hard work, and that came down to us fighting for each other and for no one else. And at the start of every quarter, Hayley said to us, and she was like, what are you going to do this quarter to bring your teammates into it? It was all about our teammates, and it was all about our relationships with each other. And I think if we don't have that, then we're not a team, and if you're not a team, then you're not going anywhere.
That is the most incredible insight, you know, that is, that's awesome. And I suppose if you don't want to fight for who's alongside you, then you don't have much of a chance.
Exactly.
No, definitely not.
It's a team sport.
That's brilliant. I'll report back to Lisa. I will finish with this. So I kind of want to ask you both all these questions, but maybe we'll just alternate.
Okay.
Although I do want to, so they're quick fire.
Yep.
First thing that comes to your mind.
Oh,
Don't
gosh.
panic.
God.
No judgment. Although I will ask you both this one. What are your nicknames?
Oh, I'm just Joe.
You're just Joe?
Just Joe, yeah,
Okay.
yeah. I've always been
Lally.
Joanne, never introduced myself as anything else, but got Chris and Joe when I came here.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
And Lally.
Lally or Lal,
Yeah, original last name. The people do the same with
Although
me.
I get Doc a lot, actually. There's about 5 of the girls on the team that just call me Doc.
Duck.
Doc, as in doctor.
Oh, Doc. Language barrier, Joe.
Yeah.
Language barrier. I thought
Doc.
you meant they could. Quack, quack. That's brilliant. Okay. Well, I'll start with you, Joe. What was your first job?
Piano teacher. I was a piano
Ah,
teacher for a long time. That was my first one then.
so you're a musician as well?
I'm a musician, yeah.
Still
I play
play?
piano. Yeah, I still play. I still play, but I don't own one right now.
No.
I'm kind of waiting until the next paycheck to get a new one.
It's kind of hard to lug a piano from Ireland
Oh,
to
it's
Perth.
I tried, but you know, it was either everything I own or my piano. But
Orla, who do you text the most?
Oh,
Oh, careful.
my mum, I feel.
Yeah, okay.
Probably.
Well, which one?
Oh, yeah. My Irish mum, my real one.
Nora.
Birth mum.
Very good. Joe, who is your hero?
Oh, that's a great question.
It is. I've absolutely put you on the spot there.
You really
Stitch up.
have. Who is my hero? This is going to probably sound a little bit lame, but probably my dad.
No,
He's
it
my
doesn't
biggest
sound lame
influence
at
in my
all.
life. Yeah.
Likewise. Yeah, likewise. You know what? That's a question I think you both need.
Yeah.
Who is your hero, Orla?
I gonna say my sister.
Oh.
Yeah,
Older or younger?
older.
Yep.
Yeah, she's
Why?
she just taught me everything I needed to know. Like she was just, brought me up as well. So
Yeah. Have you just got the one sibling?
I have 2.
Okay, cool.
I won't say which one.
There you go.
I'm gonna get myself in trouble.
Well, we won't tell her. Okay, it seems that you get the non-serious ones. What's your Hogwarts house?
Oh God,
Don't know?
that's a Harry Potter thing. I don't watch Harry Potter.
Oh, good. There we
I
go.
don't watch it either.
No,
I was playing
cool.
football.
Good question,
Yeah.
Mark. Joe, describe your style in one word.
Like my football style or my clothes style?
No, I reckon just living style. You as a person. Maybe I should ask you
Yeah, I think you should ask Lally that.
to tell me what her style would be
Yeah.
in one word. Orla, what is Joe's style in one word?
I think she's unique.
Oh, I was
that's a good
gonna
one.
for Lally. I was gonna say chaotic.
I'll
Chaotic.
take that as a compliment.
I like it. This is one that always trips me up. Orla, what's been your favourite age? Your favourite year of life?
I'm gonna have to say with 22, which is now. I think
Yep.
I'm living in it. I think, yeah. I'm
That's
gonna have to-
awesome.
yeah.
How
think
good
I'm-
that?
Need to keep it going now.
Yeah. Let's not jinx it.
yeah.
Me and Lally always say that we're very similar, and a lot of the answers we've said today
Yeah.
are probably what each other would say. But I would say at the age I am now as well.
Perfect.
I think you go through a lot in life, especially your teens are probably the hardest years of your life, and I think your 20s you think they're the best as well, but sometimes they are even tougher again. So, and I think we're in an incredible position where we are right now, and life doesn't seem like it can get any better, but it always does.
That's awesome. I love that. Turns out you're both getting questions. I'm happy with this. I mean, weird, but this is going to give us an insight into your lives. Is your bed made right now?
Mine is. I make it every
Oh, I
morning.
just changed the sheets and everything this morning. It's literally perfect.
for the only time.
Good time to ask. Joe, most quoted show or movie?
Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
Oh, yes.
I'm obsessed.
Good. Yes.
I think in Brooklyn Nine-Nine thoughts. I think
Yeah.
that or The Office US.
Cool.
Yeah, cool. Know that.
Orla?
Oh, I don't know. I watched a lot of Ted Lasso, so I feel
Oh my God,
I'm-
best show
yeah,
ever.
Oh man,
Yep.
I loved it. I watched it twice as well. That's so good.
Are you a crier?
Yeah.
Did you cry in Ted Lasso?
I tried not to. I just had a big lump in my throat.
Yeah, good. Yeah.
But no, it was
What
so
about
good.
the season 1 finale when they? Sorry, spoiler
Spoiler, I
alert.
haven't seen
Yeah.
it.
When they, you haven't seen
No,
it.
I haven't watched it yet.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know.
I'm
I know.
actually going to withdraw that comment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I only watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine and The Office on repeat.
Very good. All right, let's go. I'm not going to ask that one.
Oh.
No, I will. Okay, because I've said it. I have to ask it now anyway. If you could be, this is the last one of the hard questions. If you could be transformed into any animal, which one would it be and why?
I'm gonna say a fish, just because I like swimming.
Okay, that works.
I was going to say a dog, just because they
Yeah.
have such an easy
Yeah.
life.
Yeah.
They're so spoiled to get someone to take care of you all
Yeah.
day and bring you on walks and feed you. It's just pretty special.
And that's absolutely fair.
And I love my dog, so I feel like, you know, I'd love to be loved by me.
Yeah, love it. Well, this is so these are your real quick fire ones.
Yeah. Okay.
Which I gather I know the answer to the first one. Cats or dogs, Joe?
Dogs.
Dogs.
Yeah,
100%.
good.
Easy.
We're all in agreement there. Dinner or dessert?
Oh, dinner.
Okay.
Dinner.
Orlagh?
Yeah.
Oh,
Give
sorry.
me a good roast.
I'd have 2 dinners before I have a dessert. Yeah.
Oh, I'd have about 3 chocolate cakes before I consider dinner. Summer or winter?
Summer. That's why we're here.
Yeah.
Summer.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
All in agreement. Well, this is a little harder. If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
Ooh, I think invisibility.
Yeah. Good.
Yeah, I'd love
Yeah.
to just be a fly on the wall sometimes.
There's a Harry Potter reference.
Oh.
Pretty sure there's some sort of invisibility cloak involved in Harry Potter.
Oh, maybe
Probably.
we should watch.
Yeah, maybe we should start watching it.
All our favourite superpower?
I think I'd like to fly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool.
Like to
Yeah.
see everyone.
Have you considered pausing time?
There used to be a TV show, I can't remember what it was in the UK.
Oh,
Benjamin, someone's watch. I can't remember what it was.
Okay.
Anyways, he used to have a watch that he could pause time.
Yeah.
And I used to always think that when I was in exams, I was like, oh, if I had that watch right now, I could pause, go check my book and
Oh,
come back.
yeah.
But yeah, that's a cool one.
Food for thought. Cannonball into the pool or dip the toe in first?
Oh, I'm Cannonball. I'm straight
Cannonball.
in.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're all in or you're all out.
Even when we do the ice baths, people are like always like tiptoeing, going slowly in. We're
We
just
actually
straight
walk
in.
through them sometimes.
Yeah, we're like, get out of the way, we're straight in.
Yeah, good. And then this is my last one. What's your go-to karaoke song?
Oh, probably Zombie. Cranberries.
yeah, good.
yeah. I feel like
Yeah.
I could spelt that out.
Is that Dolores O'Riordan?
Yeah, that's her.
Did I say it right?
You did, yeah.
Yeah,
Well
there
done.
you
I haven't a clue.
go. Maybe we'll find out at the end of season party.
Yeah.
I'll teach you Zombie.
Well, that's what
we'll
we'll
do.
do. Yeah, I'll
we'll do
answer
a
that at
duet.
the end of
Yeah.
season.
Oh my goodness,
Yeah,
we
we'll-
need to film
We'll record
that.
it and send it in. Maybe we'll.
An Irish duet of Dolores O'Riordan's. Oh my, that's going to be something you have to report back
Yeah,
on.
absolutely.
It has been an absolute pleasure getting to know you guys. We, I think the way that the AFLW is taking off and getting the word out there is awesome. But I think things like this are even more valuable because we actually get to know about you guys as people, not just players. So thank you so much for your time. We really appreciate it. And all the best for, well, not only round 6, but the rest of the season as well.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Lovely to
Thanks.
chat to you.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you.